Live. Good day, everybody. Hi, how are you today? Excellent, excellent, excellent. This is going to be a fantastic show. I'm excited. I'm excited today because why? This is the Network Marketing Insider, number 275 by two cool IBOs. Maybe one. It all depends on who shows up. But anyway, well, excuse me. Sorry about that. Perfect timing for all that. Haven't done that all morning. And now, yeah, go live and guess what you get? And if you were here on Wisdom Wednesday, well, you know where that came from. My gosh, and I apologize for that show. What a horrible ordeal that was for you to endure, which is why I cut it short, got the heck out of there. I should probably delete it from the archives, but you know what? Hey, this stuff is real, okay? This is why you like it. This is why you come here. This is why you come to get information. There ain't no BS going on here. There's no fantasy. You know, this is the real deal. You know, you want to talk about, what you see is what you get. You know, get real, all that good, all that stuff is what it is. This is live. This is real. This is what it's all about, you know. And so that's, like I said, that's why you guys like this stuff. That's why you come here. Welcome everybody once again to the Network Marketing Insider. This is Freedom Friday, my favorite day of the session because it's Hawaiian Shirt Day. I don't know. Why do I like Hawaiian shirts? I don't know. I just do. So, yeah, it's every Friday I wear a Hawaiian shirt, whether I feel like it or not, because it makes me feel better, even if I didn't feel like it. Today is July 22nd, 2016, and got a very, 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 very interesting show for you today. I think you guys are gonna like this topic. What else could be money, right? We got all. Don't have my wad here. But I mean, we got paper money, we got currency, all this stuff, coins, all that stuff, is money. It's how we go out there and exchange services and goods. We can use money to get beyond the barter system of me having to actually give you a service or a good in order to partake in your service or good. We can use money as that means of value that we can trade the money, because you know what? Hey, if I'm a baker, right, and all I have to offer you in trade for your good or service that I need, maybe I need firewood so I can keep warm in the winter, right? But I'm a baker. Well, you know what? Hey, maybe you don't need my bread because your wife bakes your own bread, right? So how am I going to trade you my bread, the only thing that I might have, for your firewood, right? That's not going to work. You'll be like, dude, I mean, I can only eat so much bread, and my wife bakes bread. I don't need your bread. You're like, but I need firewood. Like, I can't help you. I got to get something for my firewood. I can't just give it away, right? So that's what the purpose of money was created for. Something that I could say, okay, here, I tell you what, look, you don't want my bread, that's great. How about I give you some of this money, and you can give me the firewood, and then you can use that same money that you can go trade with the shoe guy, so you can get some new boots for your firewood, right? Because the boot guy, he lives in a heated place where he doesn't have to pay the electric bill, and he doesn't need firewood, right? So he's not going to want your firewood for fixing your boots or for getting so here's why money was created, right? So it's a means of trade. It's a means of a value that we can trade. Well, originally, in its original form, money in and of itself had to have some sort of a value, at least a perceived value, right? Otherwise, what good is it? I mean, I could trade you this cup of sand, but what good is this cup of sand? Who's gonna want to trade? I can give you this cup of sand for your firewood, but why would the boot guy want your cup of sand, right? Yeah, I just don't see any value in that sand. So it had to be something of value. So back in the day, when all we had was, what was given to us on God's green earth, right? We had to figure out something that could be money. So let's take a look at what could be money. Well, you guys remember chemistry class or science class, whatever, when you studied the periodic table of elements, all of the things that, you know, are available to us on this earth, right? All those, that list of those crazy 2-letter things, and maybe some of them have a number or whatever, but all represented all of the potential things that we could have on this earth, right? So let's look at all of the elements and see what could be money, right? What could we use for money out of all the things that we have available to us? Well, first of all, a number of those elements are gaseous, right? So how are we going to contain and hold and use and store and trade a gas? You know, I mean, you open the jar lid and it just floats away. You know, we don't want to be carrying jars of gas in our pocket, you know. So that didn't work. Gases were out. We can't use gases. Some of them were kind of explosive too, so you know, it might blow you up. But anyway, so gases, we can't use gas as a form of money. And then, so then you have a number of them, a huge number of them. You know, there's a large number of them that are gases. There are a large number of them that are soluble. You know, if, in other words, if you get it wet, it disappears. Right? So that wouldn't be very good. You know, you wouldn't want to have a pocket full of money and it start raining, and all of a sudden, you know, you go and reach into your pocket to pay for your lunch, and you pull out nothing because your pocket got wet and all your money dissolved, right? So anything that was soluble couldn't be used as money. That just wouldn't make sense. So then you got a number of them that are kind of, you know, deadly. They're poisonous. So that just obviously wouldn't make any sense. You certainly wouldn't want to, excuse me here. You certainly wouldn't want to have to trade things that if you touched it, it might kill you. That wouldn't be very good money. So then you've got things that, you know, decay. You know, it just sits there. Eventually, you know, if it just sits there long enough, it just like turns into nothingness. So that's not good. I mean, it might be good for a while if you're using it constantly, but eventually it's just going to disappear. So like if you had a whole bunch of money and you just had it sitting there waiting for, you know, saving it, then, you know, eventually it would be gone and you didn't even get a chance to use it. So that wouldn't be a good thing. I think I'm forgetting one of the categories here, but you guys kind of get the picture here, right? We're narrowing this down. There's not a whole lot of things on this, you know, God's green earth that could actually be used with a value for money. So it really kind of comes down to the 5 metals, which are palladium, titanium, copper, silver, and gold, right? So these are the 5 metals that could potentially be used as a money. Now, copper and silver sort of fall into that decaying category. You know, if you leave copper sitting around long enough, it's going to turn into a, you know, nice shiny copper pennies are going to eventually, you know, all kind of turn brown, and then they're going to turn green, and then they're just going to be a big, like, giant ball of fuzz. You'll be like, where'd my pennies go? You know, because the copper kind of decays. It's very slow, but it kind of decays a little bit. And same with silver. Silver, even slower, you know, but you leave a pile of shiny silver coins sitting there, eventually they're going to tarnish, they're going to turn gray, you know, they're not going to be all pretty, and they're going to lose some of that, the feel of that value, you know what I mean? So they're not really, they don't really hold that pop kind of a thing. You know, so then you've got palladium, titanium, and gold. Now all of these, you know, they really don't decay. You can let them sit there for as long as you want. Come back in 10 days, 10 years, whatever, and it's still nice and shiny and pretty and looks beautiful, right? So you're like, hey, all right, these things now, hey, they last. You know, they're tangible. I can hold on to them. You know, I can break them down into small pieces. I can carry little pieces. I can carry big pieces, whatever. You know, different value. Maybe they have a weight. We can go by the weight of them. How much, you know, weight is it worth? You know, an ounce of gold or an ounce of palladium, you know, is worth, you know, 2 cords of wood, you know, whatever it might be, kind of a thing. So I got 3 metals here that we could use. So why gold over palladium or titanium? And basically that really kind of comes down to supply. You know, there's got to be enough of it to go around, right? There's got to be enough of it for everybody to use. So titanium and palladium are kind of scarce, and so there just wouldn't be enough of it to actually, for people to be able to use it as a, viable means of trade for goods. So gold really is the only natural choice of what could be used as money out of all the elements on Earth. It only makes sense. So that's why gold has such an intrinsic value. People say it doesn't have an intrinsic value, but it does, because we have adopted gold as our form of real money. Over time now, obviously, gold, there's only so much gold too, and people outgrew the gold, so the ability to use the actual gold as the money, that sort of dwindled away. It's like, we can't have everybody running around with gold. There's just not enough of it. So that's when we kind of took it and we said, okay, well, let's take this stuff and instead of making pure gold coins, we'll mix the gold with some whatever else kind of metals in there, and we'll dilute the value of the coin itself. It's still got gold in there, but now it doesn't have as much gold of it. It's still worth, in trade for a service, it's still a dollar coin. I can still trade, my 1 ounce, whether it's a 1 ounce pure gold coin for $1, I can still get my hair cut, or whether it's a half pure gold coin that is a dollar coin because of the way that it's shaped and stamped right on there, $1, I can still trade that for a haircut, right? It still has the same value, but the coin itself holds less value. Does that make sense? And over time, as you can see, all of that metal has now been taken out of coins, and then after a while, coins, they started depleting the amount of metal in the coins, and then it was like, well, let's create some paper, right? Let's just print up some paper here and stamp some values on that and call that, money to go along with these coins, currency actually, to go along with these coins. And eventually, like I said, so the paper really never really had a value at all to it, except for in the beginning when the silver certificates, or when it was a Federal Reserve note, when it was actually, okay, here's the paper, we've got the gold sitting over here in the vault, but here's the paper that is, equal to the amount of gold that we have sitting over here. If you really wanted to, you could take this piece of paper that says, good for $1, Federal Reserve note, you could take it to the Federal Reserve and say, hey, I want to trade this for gold, and you could actually, you really couldn't, but you could, in a sense, actually get $1 worth of gold in exchange for that note. Then they took that away, and it was just paper, and then all the metal now is now pretty much taken out of the coins. They're all some other kind of metal. They're still the shiny same color, still got the same value stamped on them. There's really no metal in there. There's really no value to that coin. It's just it's a token now. It's not really a coin. The dollar bills, like I said, they're just currency. They have no connection to the actual money, which is the gold and the silver that they have stored over there, right? That's the real money. Somebody's got the real money. We don't have the real money. But that's like where, that's why gold has such a value to it, because it is still considered real money. And it probably always will be considered real money, because there is no other element on Earth that's a viable replacement for it. So it only makes sense. So now here's an interesting thing, though. Today's world, you can create your own money. I mean, there's all kinds of different monies out there now, isn't there? Especially like the virtual monies. There's that Bitcoin, right? It's not real money, but it's got a perceived value, so it can be traded for goods and services to a certain extent. So that's not money, all right? It's a currency. It's a tradable commodity that people will use to trade for different things, that people can hold. They hold it virtually, but I mean, it doesn't even exist. It's not even real. It's a tabulation in your computer. There's nothing. You can't hold a Bitcoin in your hand. There's no such thing. It doesn't exist. It's in your mind. It's on the computer. It's virtual. Now you've got, these, I just read about this morning, these Pokemon coins or Pokemon dollars, or I don't remember exactly what it called them, but within the Pokemon game, they've got their own currency. You can buy your Pokemon dollars. You can use real dollars that you trade out in the real world that you can have in your hand. They really don't have any value, but that's what we have, holding in our hand, and you can trade it for virtual dollars online that you can't ever touch, you can't ever have in your hand. You can't ever see them, can't ever take them out of your bank account, stack them on your, put them under your bed or anything like that. And people are doing it. People are buying Pokemon dollars or whatever they are. I would imagine there's probably, candy coins or Crush Cash or whatever that goes along with that game, Candy Crush. There's all sorts. You can make up your own currency today. That's pretty interesting, isn't it? And it's totally like thin air. There's nothing you can touch. It doesn't really exist. But if people perceive in their mind that there's a value to it, bam, there you go. You've just created some money. You've just created currency. Wow, powerful stuff, huh? I have a feeling there's another currency coming. This currency, obviously, there's probably other places. Bitcoin is one, obviously. Bitcoin is not tied to a game, but these games, I think this is becoming a huge trend here. These games creating their own game currency, that's a big thing. So there's Bitcoin. Like I said, there's probably some other things out there that I don't know about. I don't do a lot of research in all this stuff, but there's probably other things out there on the internet already that are, similar to a Bitcoin style of currency that is good for trading of services and goods, whatever they might be good for trading on, that really are just a virtual nothingness that has some sort of perceived value that is good for use in certain ways. And that's a form of currency. And these are probably being created, well, like I said, there's probably different kinds of them out there, but I know for sure a big thing is them being created in these games. These games that you can, play online, play on your phone, all that sort of stuff. So I have a feeling there's another one coming, because there's a game coming. Excuse me. Still getting over it. Well, I'm not getting over it. Gotten over it. I'm still making sure I get it all flushed out, that cold that had me being such a oddball loser on Wednesday's show. But anyway, yeah, no, there's a game. There's a game coming down the line, guys. This is another unique, awesome. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be huge. I mean, it's going to be worldwide. It's going to be, like this Candy Crush and this Pokemon thing, right? These virtual online games that you can, like I said, play on your phone or whatever. I don't know if you can play those online, or if you do it on your computer, if they're actually just phone things. I think they're phone things only. I think they're apps. This thing that I'm talking about, I know for sure that it's an app. It's going to be a game, a phone game, right? Just like these, it's a free game. There's going to be a currency involved with it. It's a free game to join. If you're interested in joining this game, hit me up. You can send me an email to personalprotection.paul if you'd like to get some more inside information on this, opportunity that's available. Not only this opportunity, but this game. If you want to become a player, if you want to be there on game day, on day one, being one of the first people playing this game, so you can be one of the guys who's saying, oh yeah, I knew about that before it even came out, man. That's so awesome. I signed up. This is an amazing game. I was one of the first to ever be playing this thing. You want to be that guy? Hey, hit me up, send me an email, personalprotection.paul. I'll get you signed up. You'll be one of the first people to even know. I'll bet you don't even know about this right now. This is a total insider tip. This is huge, And I'm telling you, it's going to be worldwide. It's going to be an explosion. It's a no-brainer. There's no way there's not going to be millions of people playing this game. There's just no way. It's, the guy who created Madden Football, EA Sports, for EA Sports, yeah, he's working on the creation of this. So I mean, it's going to be a high-quality experience, and that's exactly what it is. It's going to be an experiential play with actual, like the Pokemon is kind of I was reading about the Pokemon. It's kind of an interactive kind of a thing. You can actually kind of play it with other people, and you can kind of play this game together, and it's a virtually interactive kind of a game. And this one's going to be actually an interactive game that is coordinated with a live event. So how powerful is that? You've got a live event going on. You can be playing this game either by yourself or with friends or freaking with half the world all at one time. I mean, how big is that? I mean, talk about social interaction, right? That's what the power behind all this is. So like I said, it's going to be a huge, huge thing. If you want to be, one of those people, one of those first to ever have played this game and have that those bragging rights, we all like to have bragging rights, right? personalprotection.paul@gmail. Send me an email, and I can we'll talk, and we'll look into it. It's going to be amazing. It really, really is. But anyway, with that, hey, I hope you guys got some interesting stuff out of this. Reason why we're talking about gold today, obviously, this show is based around iNetwork Marketing Organization, which is SwissGoldGlobal.com. Here again, if you're interested in that, personalprotection.paul@gmail. Shoot me an email, and we'll talk about that as well too. You obviously seen the reason why it's a good idea. Gold is real. You know what? Financial education is really good too, and that comes with Swiss Gold Global too. So anyway, guys, hey, listen, that's it for today. Freedom Friday. Hope you enjoyed the show. Like I said, if you're very interested in the newest, latest, and greatest, the biggest thing. This is going to be the biggest thing since Pokemon. You think Pokemon is big? This is going to be the biggest thing since Pokemon. Probably, in my guess, bigger than Pokemon because of the sports-related interaction. I mean, who on this planet doesn't love sports? A very small fraction. I know there's people out there that don't. Yeah, sure there are. But it's a small fraction of the population. Everybody loves some sport, and this is actually going to be interactive with pretty much every sport. So who's not going to be wanting to play it? Right? So anyway, with that, guys, thanks for being here. We'll see you back on New Op Day next session, where once again we'll get back into the Own Your Life Plan, the 45-second presentation, the training manual for how to operate a network marketing organization the right way, how to build one the right way. Until then, oh universe, I ask not for more riches, but more wisdom, with which to make better use of the riches given to me at birth, consisting of the power to control and direct my own mind to whatever end I might desire. Have a great Freedom Friday. Enjoy your celebration. We'll see